Good morning. Would you stand as you are willing and able to sing hymn number 17? Michael's going to lead us on the guitar. I believe it's 17. It's 16. And when we get to the places that to bow and to bend, if you have some energy, you'll create your own airflow and help the rest of us. And we're going to sing it through twice, and at the end, we will come round right.
As well, who this is your first time here, welcome, and we hope you'll join us after the service downstairs in Adams Hall for coffee and bagels and conversation. If there's anybody who feels comfortable and you'd be willing to introduce yourselves to us, please stand up and do so now. Good morning. Good morning.
We live in Farmington Hills.
Welcome.
My name is Sharon Burkhart. Betty is my sister. I'm here visiting from North Carolina.
Well, again, welcome to everybody. During the service, we do have supervised nursery for babies and toddlers. And I think we have religious education classes today as well, and you see Kim, will be leading the children out shortly. We do have two other places in the church, if at any time you would feel more comfortable to see the service from another spot in the church. If you see our greeters, ushers at the back of the church, they can take you there where it's streamed live. Just a reminder, we welcome all humans regardless of race, sexual orientation, belief system, age, and even the small children that are fidgety and make noise, and that's perfect today. These little humans are our future, and we welcome them while they are in the meeting house. I only have one announcement today, and kind of in keeping with the weekend that, the summer coming up. Today, the Gregories will take people on a guided walk through our church woods, and they'll leave at noon from Adams Hall for a 20-minute walk. Oh, yes.
And Libby Berger wanted me to announce one more thing.
There is a gathering for the greater good, June 25th from 2 to 5 at Riley Park in downtown Farmington. It supports Freedom House, which our Social Justice Committee is involved in. Freedom House supports refugees who are working on obtaining legal status in the U.S., and they also help with legal issues, but English is a second language, help getting around the city, employment, and things like that. So the actual announcement is come one, come all. Join Farmington and Farmington Hills neighbors for great community fun to support Freedom House Detroit. We will have local musicians, dancers, and lots of children's activities. Pack some food or pick up something delicious from one of our local sponsors and get to know the people in your community. Wonderful raffle prizes from many local business partners. Suggest a donation of $15 per family. And more information, including the local musicians and children's activities at the picnic, can be found on Facebook under Gathering for the Greater Good. So that was long, but thank you.
And of course, please read your order of service, which is always a wealth of information about other announcements and upcoming events. Now to transition into the program, I'm going to read an earth prayer written by John Ruskin. There is a religion in everything around us, a calm and holy religion in the unbreathing things in nature. It is meek and a blessed influence, stealing in, as it were, unaware upon the heart. It comes quickly and without excitement. It has no terror, no gloom. It does not rouse up the passions. It is untrammeled by creeds. It is written on the arched sky. It looks out from every star. It is on the sailing cloud and in the invisible wind. It is among the hills and valleys of the earth, where the shrubless mountain top pierces the thin atmosphere of eternal winter, or where the mighty forest fluctuates before the strong wind. With its dark waves of green foliage, it is spread out like the legible language upon the broad face of an unsleeping ocean. It is the poetry of nature, and it is that which uplifts the spirit within us and which opens us to our imagination a world of spiritual beauty and holiness.
I'd like to invite you to close your eyes for a minute as we move into a space of honoring our fathers. And I would invite the kids to do this too. So close your eyes for just a minute and think about your dads. Everybody get an image in your mind of your dad. And when you close your eyes like this, sometimes your forehead is almost like an inside movie screen. So you can keep your eyes closed, but you're looking up at your forehead, and sometimes you can get an image of your dad there. Those men in our lives try to keep all folded and neat in a compartment that contain one small 3x5 space. Those men in our lives have a spot in their wallets for IDs, and one for photos, and one for organizing bills, and one for credit cards. Those men in our lives seem to be able to keep work away from home, and away from love, and away from angst, and away from fear. Fold that 3x5 space and intentionally reach in and take out something carefully. It is then when those men in our lives give us the gift of the photos they hold dear, of the money they worked hard to earn in order to share with us, for the memories and for the emotions protected. Because those fathers in our lives really loved us, and we know it because they're a secret compartment in their wallet and in their hearts, just for us. And in our silence, think about your dad's name, and when you are comfortable, just call out your dad's name, whether he's up in heaven or someplace here roaming this beautiful Mother Earth. Dominic. I'm not sure what the updated version of our dad's wallets are. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Some of you imagined your dad's old wallet and sometimes even the little plastic turning yellow and the corners of the photographs a little frayed. But I think that even now, if you imagine what you put in your wallet and what is most precious often resides there, it can give you a special connection to the memories of our dads. Not as many phone calls are made on Father's Day or cards are sent on Father's Day, but it's early in the day, so I hope that you text or tweet or spend physical time or even make a phone call. And for all the kids, boy, you got some pressure today to be good for the next 12 hours. Wow, that's going to be tough. I'm going to work on that myself. So today we're having a special Earth-centered service, and we're going to call in the directions. And so I'm going to invite all of you to please stand, and we're going to face north. And Hillary in the really nice purple dress is coming up, and she's going to say some words, and then at the end we're going to say, "We welcome you, Spirit of the North."
Brothers and sisters in creation, we covenant this day with you and with all creation yet to be, with the cries of despair which reaches from the furthest corners of the earth, with the cry of the hungry child and the woman and the man challenged to provide, with hopes dashed and dreams drowned we covenant. We will not forget you, nor let the torch of your most cherished vision be extinguished forever. We will remember and we will continue to fight for justice and health of this planet, to the presentation of the world. Aho, me takwi asen.
We welcome you, Spirit of the North and South.
Brothers and sisters in creation, we covenant this day with you and with all creation yet to be, with all of humanity that has come before and will come after us in future generations, with the human spirit as it opens time and time again to the wonderness of love, with the
And I'm going to invite the kids to come up front and sit on the steps, and I'm going to come down towards the bottom here. Hi. How are you doing, Will? Good. So this is a tattered book. It means it's love. The Way to Start the Day. Some of you might know this book. It got an award a long time ago. How many of you are writers here? Raise your hand if you're a writer. Wouldn't you love to get this Caldecott Honor Award on your book? That would be pretty exciting. So, are you writers too? Maybe one day you'll get the Caldecott Award. Or maybe we'll just give you an award when you share your book or your poem with us.
I'm already giving my mom. I write with my dad.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't mind writing with
Yeah. Well, whatever you work on, we'll like to see it.
books. I write books and
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? So they wrote a book, and this is the book that says, this is the way to start the day. And every day I try to do this, even in the winter when it's super cold. The way to start the day is you go outside and you face the east, and when you're lucky, you greet the sun in some kind of blessing or chant or song that you made yourself and keep for the early morning. So you can think about that this summer. You're going to have a lot of time to think about that. And the way to make the song is, don't try to think about the words until you're standing there alone quietly. Just you and the sun. And when you feel the sun, you'll feel your song too, and you'll just start to sing it. But don't think you're the only one that ever worked that magic, because look at it. A long time ago, our cavemen brothers and sisters knew what to do, and they sang songs to the sun. And soon, in 2 days, is going to be the first official day of summer, called the Summer Solstice. And that means it's going to be a day when the sun is out for a long time, and then it's going to start going away. But it's going to be a really long day, and your moms and dads are going to say, let's go to sleep at 8:30, and you'll say, but the sun's still out. And you'll say, let's go to sleep at 9 o'clock, and you'll have the sun still out. So that's going to be a special day.
is it church on that day?
Nope, that's why we're celebrating early. So I'm going to teach you a chant right now, okay? So, Elliot, you're going to need to put your books down by your feet because you're going to need your hands.
Wallet and
Your wallet and your book. Cool. All right, watch this. Watch this. Okay, do this and listen. Everybody, you guys have the words. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Was that easy? It's not going to be easy in a minute. Okay, now we're going to go faster. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. See those people in the back? They think you don't see them, not doing anything. Okay, everybody. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood. Real slow now. Now we're going to go real slow, Dante. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Close your eyes. Okay. Whew. You can think of your dad, or you can, now we're going to switch and we're going to think of Mother Earth. And we're going to sing this song. The earth is our mother, We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, Yana, oh, Yana, hey, Yana. Hey, Yana, oh, Yana, hey, Yana. Earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. While you go down the center aisle one more time. Don't forget your book, Elliot, and your wallet, okay? All right, here we go. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, Yana, oh, Yana, hey, Yana. Hey, Yana, oh, Yana, hey, Yana. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her.
If you would please join me in our litany for the with the Summer Solstice poem. It is in your order of service. We come together today to give thanks for this beautiful planet that ever provides its bounty for our sustenance. Rigorous spring planting is over. We have witnessed the seeds reawaken. As the earth pours forth the strength of strength and vitality, we joyously behold the wondrous splendor of summer. Today we renew our appreciation and wonder for the divine balance and harmony of the earth, and we reaffirm our commitment to live in reverence of nature. As we watch the earth so jubilantly and the loving future of our hearts, may we also be inspired to give from our hearts. As we watch the earth pour forth its gifts to us, may we feel called upon to give ourselves more fully in whatever necessary work we are engaged. As we witness the harmonious cycles of the earth, may our faith be felt through our service and our actions help to protect this fragile Mother Earth.
This morning, as we take our offering, we'd like to invite you to be our guest if you are a first-time visitor here with us. The contributions that you make move to support and sustain the work of our liberal faith in our smaller and in the larger community around us. This morning, as we think about the week that has passed, some of us have been caregivers, some of us have been care receivers. All of us have struggled with whether to give gratitude for summer coming in with such a blast or to decide that we're just going to try and maintain a peaceful quiet as the 70-degree temperatures return starting tomorrow. The joys and concerns that you share with us become part of this larger community. You can either speak loudly from where you're sitting or come up to the microphone and say your first name and share your joy or concern.
Morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Knight. I spoke here many months ago. My other side is a very large family as well, to continue to keep her name out in the public. So since today is such a gorgeous day, and it's been 6 months, if any of you feel so willing, in my bag I have 2 things. I have flyers, which will be in the back. You're welcome to take some, distribute them however you feel. And then additionally, the other thing we're trying to do is, with the warmer weather, is honestly just use our cars as a billboard. So if you see my car, you can see it from the front door all the way in the back, has our hashtag on it, which is a quick way for people to be able to look us up, find our pages, our sources, other flyers, information. We're using the hashtag #FindDanny. It's very simple. Her name's Danielle Stislicki. Danny is what she went by. That's her nickname. So if anybody's willing, afterwards I'll just have these in the back. There are several paint markers in the bag. There's flyers. If you feel so inclined to mark up your window, would be fine. I wouldn't do it on the paint, but the back window, even just a quick hashtag #FindDanny on your rear window. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to tell them, but people will see you driving down the street. So, but that's what D-A-N-I. So find D-A-N-I, Danny. So.
I'm going to light a virtual candle.
That is completely fine. So I'll put these in the back so that you don't even need to find me, because usually after service I'm chasing my children. But you're welcome to take them and just make sure when you're done with the markers, put them back. Instructions are right there. And the flyers, take as many as you'd like. So I've got a whole bunch. So thank you.
Hi, my name's Megan Chenoweth. I have a joy. Last weekend I traveled back to my college reunion and got to spend time with tons of college friends that I sang with in choir, and we had a chance to honor our choir director, Rob Kolb, who is retiring after 30-something years of leading choirs at my college. It was a wonderful weekend and a great chance to meet up with a lot of old friends and sing again and say thanks to somebody who made a big difference to a lot of us. So if I could, I would light a candle for Rob.
This is a joy and a little reminder. We had the joy over the last week of having our 10-and-a-half-year-old healthy, bright grandson with us. It was amazingly exhausting. 2 adults, 1 uncle, 3 aunts, 2 teenage cousins, and 1 10-and-a-half-year-old. Every time we completed one activity, he wanted to know what we were going to do next. Every time a bowl of ice cream was emptied, he wanted to know when it was going to be refilled, and he would negotiate anything to make sure that he got bowls of ice cream twice a day. So it was wonderful, and his uncle took him back home, and he'll come back in July. So I share this to say this. We had our grandson for a week. We're asking some of you, whether you have grandchildren or you don't have grandchildren, to offer 1 or 2 hours on a Sunday morning once a month to help the religious education department. I have long been an advocate of the parents. Parents with young children do not come to a congregation so that they can spend another hour and a half with their children in religious education. And so it's a generational trade-off. Some of you forget what being around a 10-year-old is. They will educate you about computers and astrophysics, and they know how many fat grams and sugar grams are in yogurt and in Gatorade. You will become enlightened in more ways than one. So as we move into a different transition in the summer and then into next fall, please think about an hour and a half or two on a Sunday morning and what it can mean for you first, the children second, and those parents that I give my namaste to. So our virtual candle is for each of you. Many of us in this congregation have struggles of a variety of types, and many of us have amazing joys, such as the boys getting together yesterday for a bocce game at Dennis Montague's. Some of you share your stories with one another during coffee hour. Some of you connect during the week at women's and men's lunches and meetings. This is the community that serves one another and cares about what you're going through. And we offer gratitude to Elizabeth for bringing voice for Danny, and our hope keeps residing that Danny will be found, and updates are always on our Facebook as well. I invite you into a time of meditation and calm and quiet. I would ask that you close your eyes and attempt to find your own center in this peaceful music time with these words from Chief Joseph leading us into our quiet. Every time we take a breath, we become the universe. The very moment of creation is contained in us and passes on to the rocks and the trees and the animals and the fish. The only ones, say, the essence of life are from the old ones' voices, most importantly. We hear it in the water and the wind, and their voices echo in the earth and the breath and in the fire and in our bones. But most of all, our breath. Our first connections were made to the elk and the hawk, the bear and the buffalo. And we hear the song of the birds as we take in a breath and we make a connection. We take in another breath and we make a connection as we maintain our place in the circle of life, unbroken. The wheel turns, and as the wheel turned this morning, or will in 2 days in Stonehenge, and the people stand on the Wiltshire Plain of southwest England at the center of the monument to face northeast, in that isolation, the 35-ton heel stones will appear 256 feet away between three of the great stone arches. That structure overall's axis is accurately aligned to the summer solstice. Recent years have astronomers and archaeologists discovering at least 24 other solar and lunar alignments made by the ancient builders of Stonehenge and incorporated into that structure. The pre-Celtic peoples of the Prytini quarried these 50-ton stones and moved them 20 miles around in the year 2800 BCE, approximately. The blue stones come from further away in Wales. So the fires will be lit in the upright pillars, creating a gathering place for tribes throughout southern England. And today we gather as we create a pathway for energy of the sun to return to us on this longest day. Closer to home, the Cahokia peoples of the Mississippi Valley near East St. Louis created a city that flourished between 800 Common Era and 1500 Common Era. Of the hundreds of sacred mounds, 80 survive, with the Monk's Mound being the largest. 1/2 mile west, 4 large circles of post poles, and found that they align precisely with the solstices. You choose to have dirt under your nails and tennis shoes that have to be hosed off and then warmed and dried by the sun again because you want to stay connected. You want to stay connected to something organic and real and remember you're a part of it. This morning, as I gave the reading for Father's Day, I chose the milder reading, the milder metaphor of a wallet. I'm going to share a different reading because I do want to make a connection between the complexities, if you will. Hold these complexities in tandem in your mind. The complexities of our relationships with our fathers and our complexities with our relationship with nature. We struggle to look for the best in both, but it is a struggle. Poe Ballantyne writes these words. He kept a close ritual of coffee, then work, then dinner, his television shows, and his cigarettes. The newspaper stayed on the table, open to the personals. He had opened them the first day she had left him, like the reflex of a man covering a wound after being shot. His face was gray from survival. He was a man who could not allow himself to break, so the despair reached out in front of him. The music from the stereo could not fill the emptiness. Our conversations, father and son, were automatic. They were clock talk. His single guiding hope was that she would return. What had happened after my dad believed could never happen to him? He had been 50 years old. He was settled and comfortable, secure. His children were raised. He had worked hard all of his life, and now he could relax. I understood why my mother had left him, but still I condemned her for leaving, for taking the easy way out. So my father and I played cards and watched private eye dramas on television. He looked in the personals, called once about someone that kind of looked right, but canceled soon after. It just wasn't in him. One Sunday afternoon, I heard him crying in the bedroom. I didn't know what to do with a father who cried. He taught me all I knew, the important things like honesty and loyalty and a firm handshake, and the love that moves beyond self-love, love that moves beyond self-love, and the duty of what it means to be a man. Trust was his only religion, and it was failing him, and in turn, it was the failure of the world. The one thing a human asks for on this earth is to be loved. Why should it be so impossible? Why should we even contemplate such words on a beautiful Sunday morning? Because we are continually trying to make connections. Connections to understand where we are on Stonehenge, that sometimes only particular times of year that aligns with us make a connection and see clearly. Sometimes it takes a threat service outside and then the app on our phone saying it was 35% chance of rain. But we came anyway to hear what the minister might say that would move us. What the minister might say that will move us is to sort out complexities with human beings sometimes requires us to be away from the human beings and out in the nature. Some of you do that well, and thank you to the Gregorys for being loyal to taking our little kidlets and whoever else wants to explore the mystery of the church path after service today. Postmodern people are we, and so we think. How can we get reconnected? Where is what Milan Kundera, called the unbearable lightness of being? How do you get to that space within yourself? Sometimes you have to become a spiritual materialist. To become a spiritual materialist means to become arguing and say and have such a needed to we see, but some and to who serve it and who will interrupt it. So this morning we look who we can be as connected to what is referred to as an earth religion. That's why we're going to be outside, because we thought that this could be an earth religion day. But instead we are inside doing what is right to be reconnected to what is something that is called connection, as philosophers, if you will. Each of you takes an act in your life. Each of you makes a decision what you do with your days. Philosopher Immanuel Kant introduced a pair of concepts which deserve use and effort so that we can balance them out in a harmonious way for and with nature. So we make what we do with our lives and our relationships, either with our friends or with co-workers or with neighbors or church members. So we make moral acts, if you will, and he distinguished those from beautiful acts. Moral acts that were motivated by an intention to follow moral laws, at whatever cost that is, to do our moral duty solely out of the reason the reading did that. He stayed and he raised his 4 children. It wasn't easy. It wasn't the kind of life he expected. And the tears he shed privately wasn't what he expected to deal with emotionally. But that supreme indication of our success is that we perform these pure moral acts. And sometimes we do so against our own inclination and our own desires. We have to do it even when we hate to do it. Kant was deeply awed by the phenomena that heaven and with its stars above me and the moral laws within me. But if we do something only because it's a moral law, how do we also add it into a beautiful act? If it is right because of a positive inclination, then we perform a beautiful act. That doesn't always happen, and every act is not going to be beautiful, but the environmental affairs that we have influence people toward beautiful acts by finding ways to work on their inclinations rather than their morals. So how do you combine those things? This is the magic bullet of the equal sign of the formula. You need to have an immense variety of sources of joy, opened through increased sensitivity towards the richness and diversity of life, through the profound cherishing of free and natural landscapes. Some of you are wondering, Leonetta, you have us on a piece of string that keeps twisting back and forth. Is it going to make sense? It does make sense when you think of yourself internally as a natural landscape. Externally, you're operating in a natural landscape. My charge to each of us, and a lot of times when I'm doing a counseling session, I let people know that I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to them. So right now I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. I have a choice whether my grandson stays 10 days or 2. 2 days would be much easier. 2 days would be normal grandparenting. And then I could get back to my life of shuffling papers and making sure my garden was weeded and getting a manicure and a pedicure and doing those things that women of my age should do in a normal way. None of you would want to make that choice for normalcy, I hope. Your internal landscape is changing, and just because the calendar is moving and this is your 55th summer solstice or your 22nd summer solstice or your 84th summer solstice doesn't mean that you stop evolving and changing. I encourage each of you to think of something that you liked to do in the summer and you gave it up, possibly for physical reasons, possibly for financial reasons, but adapt it enough that you do something new so that your brain keeps getting rewired. Because if it's not, we're not keeping up. Believe me, these children are getting rewired on a daily basis. We can get rewired too. We can get rewired to reframe our relationships with our sons and our fathers, imperfect as they were, and nature that seems uncontrollable. So that is the charge today. How do you become a person that not just takes moral acts and does things because you're supposed to do these things? You're a responsible citizen. Isn't it wonderful you voted and you will have another chance to vote again and again? That is wonderful. How do you make it a beautiful act? I'm going to give you a test. What was the 3-letter joy? I gave it away! The 3-letter word is joy. I gave it away. It was so easy. Sometimes I make it a little too easy. But that is the point. So this summer, cultivate something. Not something that you did last summer. Something new with joy. Bringing memories forward, bringing life into an organic space. Go into the bedroom sometimes and close the door and show your tears, because there's plenty to weep about. And then come out again and create the beautiful acts motivated by the joy of life that we have. Internal landscapes meeting external landscapes. I just have to get you involved. So raise your hand if that made sense. Oh, you restore my faith in humanity. Thank you so very much. Our last drumming is, you might have seen this, drumming for movement. How many are a little warm? Raise your hand. How many have to leave this room anyway? Raise your hand. Stand. You can remain seated for half of it, and then stand, and then you can dance or move or do your own special dance. Max isn't here anymore, but he taught me this, and he gets so embarrassed when I do it. I don't even know what it is. It's the dab, but I don't know where it came from. I hope I didn't do anything immoral by sharing that. Oh, it's a sneeze. Oh, see, we're all learning. Okay, for movement. Thank you, Steven and friends.